All right. Let me get set up here a little bit. Oh, hell. All right, there's that. We want to get open twit. What up, Suyash? What up, Cyprian? Oh, sweet. I'll get that stuff installed, Mattia. I'll install on stream here, although I don't have that problem. We were having that problem, forget how that whole conversation even came up at work. Morning, Bashal. Move this off screen. Let's update our dependencies. Dude, I love this song. So good. Nice. Okay. Cool. Let's update our dependencies in here. Bun update latest. Great. Got the newest language service. All right. Trying to remember where we left off here. Add round trip label test. Round trip test for label and name. Do we not have round trip? I guess we don't. All right, I'm just gonna have Claude add that. Add round trip tests for label and name. I also love this song. I need to add more music from this this band, Dead on a Sunday. So they seem relatively active. They put out a single in 2024. Dylan streaming.
Functions describe the world.
What is this? It was the clip that Anders shared. Mm-hmm. If you write code in stream, I'm hitting follow. It's that simple. Oh, we're writing code today. We are gonna, I think we have some edge case validation stuff to still work out in our implementation of the packet parser. And then I remember that I wrote out the strategy for doing, yeah, when encoding basically the compression. I think we're going to use a trie or a prefix tree for compression. I think it's at least an easy way to do it. But the pacing of that guy is you talking about V0. I don't talk about V0 that often. All right, let's run these tests. Run, test, watch. All right, so we have an error on validate name round trip. All right, let's go look at that test. Why? Wait, what is encoded coming out to be here? Oh, does it think it's undefined? No. What do we get for, I guess we don't need this array from, that's stupid. Let's go fix those other ones too. I don't know why the bot did that. because it's a freaking bot. All right. Validates name round trip consistency across context. I don't even know what across context means. So we generate a valid name. We get that. We create a question. We don't need to create a question here. Or I don't even know what context we are in. If we comment out this, I'd expect that test to pass now, and we should fail in another context. It's QName exceeded maximum size. That should be fine. Oh boy. Are we sure that this is... Yeah, it would have to be less than... Chat, I'm confused. So we're failing here, right? QName exceeded maximum size. queue name exceeded. And what code is this under? I need to make that test be the only one that we're working on for a second. Let's fix, I guess, this first. Fails on labels with... Oh yeah, we need to update this. All right, let me go look at my Slack DMs. I'm worried. I just think this. I forgot that we even had that. I don't even look at that channel. But yes, I will add that. That's not a lot of work. In fact, oh, I can't do it because I was going to have Devin do it, but Devin's not hooked up to the backend repo. All right, we need to get label and name test passing. So I want to go to describe label, and we're going to comment out everything else. Actually, we're going to do dot only, and then we're going to go down here. All right, all label tests are passing. Great. We want name next. And in here, what? Were these just not failing? It would probably one-shot it, Zach. I'm doing it because I'm not letting Claude Code do the implementation because I want to do it myself to learn it and do something hard that I haven't done before. Yeah, I'm positive like that it would one-shot it without a doubt. Sorry to disappoint you, Anders. I know that's not your style. Hard work and self-improvement, I know, just definitely not in your wheelhouse. All right, so let's update question to use our new label and name parsers. So we come down in here, we can, we're gonna wanna turn this into a effect. Wait, do I need to yield this? Or do I? No, I shouldn't need to. I guess I do need to yield that. I'm hoping I get through this last one and it just works. Let's go. Let's go. In fact, we can just do that and it'll be fine. At the end of the day, I'm just an AI. You gave the prompt, be a sassy gay. Everyone needs a sassy gay AI, all right? You heard it here first. If you don't have a sassy gay AI, not gonna make it. I don't make the rules, all right? All right, so we should be able to, rather than writing this loop now, we have our name parser. And we should be able to do something like decode name. Do I not have that implemented? Or the decode function? No. All right, let's write that. Const decode name is going to equal schema.decode and then name. It's an array of labels. Labels does the validation. Decode name. I think we want to how would we do this? I don't think this works, actually. EffectTS equal type of name dot encoded. So that's a uint8 array. So it takes a array of uint, right? It takes a array of so I think we want to do what do we want to do here? We would want like a function that's like name from uint8 array. Because I think this takes an array of, yeah, that takes an array of labels. So we would really want, yeah, okay, I figured out where we're at here. Let's go down to question. We basically need to copy this logic from here yeah, all the QName parsing. So let's say we have const name from uint8 array equals schema.transform or fail, and we're going from a uint8 array, which is schema.uint8 array from self, to a name, and then we need strict is going to be true. And we're going to have our encode, and we're just going to throw to do for now, and then we'll do decode, and we'll also do throw to do. And let's remove these, do that there, and we'll come here. Yeah, I mean, we basically are doing TDD. I have a bunch of failing tests that I am working on fixing the implementation for. This would be uint8 array, And now I need here to there. The thing that's weird about this is I need to... No, I don't. I can look at the length of the buffer that comes back to move the offset. So if we take that, and I'm just going to dump that in there for a second. We can get rid of all the yields in here. So the next one, AST. AST. All right, so we now have the queue name. Let's just rename that to name, since the roles of a queue name and name are identical. And we're gonna come in here and we're gonna rename that to name. Likewise with you and you. And then we're gonna return name. What is this upset about? Oh, I need to say parse result.succeed. All right. So that is how we can decode names. I really want to parse each label. Where do we create the labels in here? Yeah. So in here I want to do, I guess I do want to turn this into an effect. So let's say return effect.gen function star. We'll take all this, put that in there, get rid of this, and then everywhere we have, we can do this easy. Let's grab in there, and we're going to go to find or replace, and we're going to say return parse result. We're going to make that return yield star parse result. There we go. That fixed that. Who needs multiple cursors? Ain't nobody need multiple cursors in here. So now here we can do const label. We want to have a const decode label. That's going to be schema.decode and then label. And we're going to use that here. Yield star decode label. I'm going to wrap this John. Now we have a label. We don't need to do that because we have that validation in here. Great, that looks good. What are you upset about? Can I not compose? Parse result at parse error. Do I have to catch that and transform it? What is it, map error, I guess, instead? Sure. All right, so we get our label. All right, and then when we encode, we get our name, and we need to go to a uint8 array. And we can basically copy the implementation in the other direction here. We already have that done as well, right? In fact, actually, let's go replace this, because this should be in question now, right? Question from uint8 array, yeah. So we can I think we can delete from here down to there, and we need to get const qname is going to equal yield star I guess we can't do this yet. We need to finish this. So I should have closed that. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to go over here and look at the encode. So we can take this down through here. This part's going to be where we have to implement the compression. I think at some point we're going to have to pass a try and the full uint8 array, I think, in. Where's this for loop end here? All right, that is so we can delete to there, That's name. This is name. This is name. AST. That's name. Let's just I might need to go blow my nose, chat. My allergies are killing me right now. Where did buffer length go from? What a Mizzy. All right. That looks good. We should be able to decode a label. Yeah, I'm gonna go blow my nose, chat. I'll be right back. I think I'm unmuted. Let me check OBS. Yeah, we're good. Cool. Up to decode label. And we want the opposite, right? We want encode label. This will be encode. And then here,
speaks the gospel of the camel. I speak the gospel of the dunes. The sand is in my veins.
thank you, Nava.
Come
Appreciate
ride a
ya.
camel with me today.
Name label must be name size. I think we can take I think I can do all right, we need to turn this into an effect actually. Return effect dot gen function star boom down to here, move that up into there, and then everywhere we can basically do that same find and replace. I think I did that wrong. That closes that, that closes that, that goes in there, and then we can do this, and the last one is we can just do throw to do for now. I think here we can get label, and we can do a yield star, decode label, encode label, which would be name index. I guess we can do const encode label from unknown. We'll do schema.encode unknown. And we'll take label. And we'll use that instead. Right here. And then we can take this. And we can do label dot byte length. In fact, we can just get rid of U altogether. As label length can become label dot byte length /g, and we can delete that one. Name this will be a uint8 array. Or how did I do this before? Where's the encode? Qname size, label length. Okay, so we built up. We need to do this part. Yet. What up, John? It's going well. We don't need to do this because we have that. We already have that done. Const label data. Where does our data view come from? We probably want the terminating 0 for QName.
Hi.
Hi. What's up?
Did you ever get, or did you ever ask for those recs?
For what?
Did you ever ask for those recs?
No.
Oh.
Oh, day.
Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So, shorts, terrible idea.
What?
Shorts, terrible idea. For cycle.
Huh.
My thighs hurt.
Oh.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Rip.
Literally. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Water your plants today.
All right, that should be what we need to encode in. That needs to be parse result dot succeed. No, it doesn't. It should be fine. Oh yeah, we need to map the error here. We need to do pipe effect dot map error, and then we need to do struct dot get, and we need to get the issue. There we go. Right, so we have, let's write tests for this. Yeah, I want to write tests for this. And we should do, export const decode name from uint 8 array, and that's going to be schema dot decode name from uint 8 array. We'll do the same thing, except this will be encode. That will let us go from a name to a uint 8, and we'll have Claude come down here, Claude continue, add test coverage for decode name from uint 8 array, and encode name from uint 8 array in at index. Never edit index.ts, just write correct tests, and if they're failing, I will use TBD to correct the implementation. Dude, no problem, John. I've been really busy too. I've missed a bunch of mornings. I missed a bunch of mornings for a whole variety of reasons. Yesterday morning, Justine and I had to go to the courthouse to get marriage documents. Last week, I was traveling, and house cleaners came one morning. So, working on getting back to being here every morning on close to on time, or trying to be as close as I can be to on time without hating my life. Yeah, dude. One of my friends started inviting me fishing, so that's sweet. All right, let's while this guy's cooking here, let's go do some Reddit checking. I think somebody asked what desktop environment it was, and Bad Cop answered it's Minecraft. I saw that. I actually laughed out loud for that. I think it's funny how much attention this post got, and I'm worried that there is a handful of people that think I was serious about this. Because this was satire. Using useEffect to build useEffect by using effect. And it's actually like a better useEffect than regular useEffect. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know you could npm install a piece of art. All right. Run just the new tests and report back.
Functions describe the world.
Yeah, this guy's actually, I think it's already has that typed. Is this Rust? How did this get resurrected? Oh, this guy replied. Yeah, I want standard schema to support encoding and decoding. I think standard schema is one of the most important things that's happened in the JavaScript ecosystem in a long time. I think standard schema is super, super important, and we should have more things like standard schema. For anyone that doesn't know what standard schema is, it's a interface that all of the runtime type validators are leveraging. So you can use this interface. You can basically install standard schema, and then anything you write with standard schema can accept validators from Zod, from Valibot, from effect schema, from archetype. There's a bunch of compliant, So if you implement your runtime validators in a library or an abstraction with standard schema, Anyone that uses it can use Zod, Valbot, ArcBot, or ArcType, Effect Schema, ARIA Schema, TypeMap, FormGator, Decoders, Rescript Schemas, Skunk Team types. I have no idea what that is. It's really, really nice. And it's so easy to implement. Like right here, this is the only piece of code you really need to implement it. And then you can just say validate, and then you can pass it Zod, you can pass it Valbot, you can pass it ArcType, you can do Effect Schema. So good. I'm trying to push Vercel. I really want AI SDK to adopt standard schema instead of Zod. All right. Let's see. To test passing, rejects invalid wire format, validates specific wire formats, revealing real bugs. Great. Buffer size calculation bug. The buffer size calculation on line 271 is incorrect. It's not accounting for length prefixes. Valid names with valid labels are being rejected by an encoding function. Property tests found edge cases where label validation is too strict. Wire format mismatch. The arbitraries are generating valid wire format that should decode but doesn't. Okay. All right, so let's start with all right, so let's go, let me say one other thing. Set, no, we'll do it ourselves. Let's go to our test, which I wonder where we put those. I wonder if we put them at the bottom. No. I need to look at the symbol outline. We have so many tests now. Good problem to have, honestly. I might have it soon split. Where did we put that? Where are the tests that it just added? Header, label, round trip, that's fine, name, I think we want to update these tests to use binary, encoding, decoding. Okay, this is actually arbitrary valid name uint 8 array. Let's do dot only, and that is so we have a describe nested. Oh yeah, we have this dumbass stupid array from. We don't need to do that. So let's just grab all of this, and we're just going to remove array array dot from we're going to do that here too. And what are you upset about? I don't care. 0. There we go. If we run the test, are we only doing that suite? Yeah, we are. Great. Offset is out of bounds, so that can throw. That's good to know. So let's go to our implementation. And yeah, it was Claude Code, John. In here, we want to write a out.set. These can throw too. I have some, do I have setters down here? No, I don't. So let's do a set UN8. We can basically do the opposite of what's happening here. Yoink this, go down here, do this, say this is going to be delete to you, this will be set, and we're going to do data view dot set UN8, and this needs the data view, the offset, the value, which will be a uint 8. Well, we can just say that's a label, right? Or really it's a byte. Don't we have a type for byte? I swear we made a byte. Which is a uint8. Okay, that's fine. uint8. And this is going to set the value. And I don't think this takes a endianness. No. Comma. What do you return, void? Cat. So we have a set uint8 we can now use, and we'll do that. And set uint8 takes the data view, the offset, the value, which is going to be the label. Wait, hold up. That's setting the length byte. Right. So we're going to do data view, offset, value, and the AST. And we'll want to yield star that. And then here we want like a function for safely setting. I don't even know what we call this thing here. uint8 array set, I guess. Do set uint8 array, and that's going to take a uint8 array buffer. So we'll say, maybe we should call it u, rename that as u, and we'll say set. And we're going to take the buffer, uint8 array, that would be uint8 array. It's going to take a label, which is really just another uint8 array. Target, let's just say this is target. This is going to be value, which is also a uint8 array. And then it needs an offset. Which is a number. And it needs the AST. And then in here we do, does this return anything? This is just mutative, right? Yeah. So we're going to do target dot set value at the offset. And we'll do that. This is going to take our target and yeah, I think that's fine. Then we can take this and we can do a safe version of this. Yield star uint8 array set. The target will be out, label will be the value, and then right offset will be the offset, and we need to pass the AST. We can do that. Yep. And then we also want to do this down here on the, this will be 0x00. All right. Now we have some safe operations that handle setting into our buffers and our data views. Let me look at this, John. Code review. Code review redeemed for 25,000. Let's go. We'll do this. We'll do this right now before we run everything. By our good friend John, flak.ts. Let me be the best way to do this. I wish I could like leave comments and like do a review. Whatever, we'll just go through here. From utils, bint, nice, nice, that looks familiar, like that. uint8 is 7 bits. Is that just a 0 padded uint8? That's confusing. That comment by itself is confusing. Let me pull up Twitch chat over here. I normally default to using schema.taggedError now instead of data.taggedError. They can serialize correctly no matter what. just a small nit is that I would take this schema and I would give it a name rather than doing one in line here. So we're going from this struct that has a uint8 array and an offset, which this is honestly something I'm going to have to copy. To a FLAC header. That looks good. That'll looks good. Pick up the data view. We're going to use a bitmap to determine, this must be, yeah, okay, so this is how we determine if it's the end. Okay, that looks good. Buffer array length 4, so it'll always be 4. I think you can do what I did here. I forget why I did this. There's a reason for it, where I used like that out pattern. If you do out and you do set, I think you can prevent an allocation somewhere. So it would be, you create your array buffer, your uint8 array from your array buffer, and then you use uint8 out array, or it'd be out.set. Like this is literally what we just did. To set into the buffer, and I think it is more efficient than doing this. I don't know, actually. That doesn't seem right. This is fine, probably. Length, data view cursor, vendor string length, cursor plus equals, yep. I guess this cursor is the internal offset. Number of fields, data view, get uint, cursor true. So endianness matters here, I'm assuming. That looks good. I think slice is deprecated. I think you want subarray. I think you want subarray here instead of slice. I think they deprecated this recently. Parse field value. Okay. Just something to be careful about, and this is kind of what I'm working on right now a little bit. Like this, for example, parsing can throw, and that could break this. You probably want to wrap this in parse result.try, which that's like, if you saw what I was doing here, that's what these helpers are. I started wrapping all the functions that could throw in parse result.try. Thank you for the raid. What up, Cerberus? How are you guys? How's the stream? What were you working on?
Functions describe the world.
This all looks good. I would also, not that it really matters, John, but I would define, or where does metadata come from? Or I would define this decoder out of line, like some up here in the global scope, so you're not recreating that function every time, and it's just a shared reference, just a small nit. This all looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Parse field value. What are we doing here? We're splitting on equal mapping. Hex trim. Okay, read header. Same deal here. I'd probably define that out of line just to save allocations. Same here. Again, slice, I'm almost certain you want subarray instead of slice. Nice, using platform. Yeah, dude, this looks good. This is super similar to what I'm working on. I'm gonna go ahead and yoink a store in there. Chat, go give our good friend John a star on his music server. Oh shit. What up, Saros? I was asking how stream was and what you guys were working on. Which post, John? I'll try to do more like it. All right. Yeah. Certainly. What's up, Drain? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Let's go back to where we were. That is logic for our compression. Where were we? We were working on encoding and decoding labels. Right. All right, we have a failing test on. Let's run this again. Offset is out of bounds. Validate RFC-1035 size limits in wire format. So when we go from a uint8 array to a name, transformation process offset is out of bounds. That has to be coming from here. So when we create the buffer, we're taking this size. And name is a, dot length. Each one is 255. That checks. We iterate over the name. We get the label. We look at the label byte length. We increment the name size. Am I doing something wrong on the name? Does name has a byte preceding it? Should this be +1 here? Since there's always a byte, I'm almost positive name. Where is this at? Do we have, I think I have the memory layout. Where is it at? I need to start separating name. A domain name represents as a sequence of labels where each label consists of a length byte followed by the number. Okay, yeah. I think that's what I'm not accounting for here. So label of name. I think we need to do that. Because we need a byte. For every label, we need a byte. And really, we can do, this is going to be, in bytes. I don't think this is correct. I don't think this is the right logic, right? Because if we have when we decode to a struct, we're putting the labels there without their, hold on, I need to think about the logic here. So a normal name would look like, let's say 3, and then it would be like a byte for C, O, and M, right? So this is saying, hey, the next label you're going to parse is going to be 3 bytes. We parse 3, and then we would expect to hit like, maybe we do something like, what is example? EXA M P L E, and that is 1, 2, 3. That's 7. So we would have 7. And right now, this is like a wire format. But the current decoded format is going to be like, it's going to be U. So this is how we decode off the wire. We go to a format like this. So we need this length isn't, this isn't right. This is incorrect. This is not where we check. Let's take U. Yeah, that has nothing to do with it. So our name size will start as length because the length here would be 2, and that the length of the decoded format is the number of length bytes we need, where length bytes in this example are 7 and 3. So we can start name size at name.length. And now we don't need to do the +1 here because we already have accounted for name.length is the number of offset, or how do we, what was the terminology this thing used? Where was that? Length, just length byte. Okay. And we'll need 1. Length bytes plus terminator byte. Right? Because when we get down here, we should set the terminator. Yeah, terminating 0 right there. Oh, you know what? Actually, buffer.slice is deprecated. Typed array.slice is fine. Oh, gotcha. Does slice out do a new allocation though, John? Subarray might not. I would just check on like what it's doing allocation wise, because you probably don't want allocations. You probably want views into the data, and I'm pretty sure subarray does not do any sort of copy or allocation. Yeah, it just gets a view where like uint 8array dot slice. I think this creates a new array. Yeah, it does. Yeah, you probably want for sure one subarray. B. We actually might be able to use filter.
Functions describe the world.
No, that feels like a bad check. That's going to do an extra iteration that we don't need. We want to do a bounds check in here, essentially where we want to make sure that, the length is, what does this come in as? It's a uint 8 array. Byte length. Greater than 0. We want to do a parse result failure. The at least 1 byte. No, it actually must be at least 2 bytes. Right? A name must be 2 bytes because you need the length. No, in this case, it would be 1. Because this is the decoded version. Name length must be at least 1 byte or more. Name length must be at least, must be at least 1 byte or more. Okay. Length bytes plus a terminator byte. Is there a way to do span annotate for non-web shit? Wait, what do you mean, John? You just want spans? Or you want tracing? Yeah, you would just do like, so this is an effect here. So you could just do pipe effect dot with span. Name, foobar, right? Whatever you want to name your span. And that will wrap it. You just need to set up, wherever your main program is, you need to set up the exporter to pipe it somewhere. I use, you can use Jaeger locally. I like using Axiom. Like, for example, that's weird. Why did I get logged out? I pipe a lot of my stuff here. Like over the past 2 days, I've had traces, and this is running from a server process. And the way that setup looks like is session, budget sync, main, dependencies. No, it's up here in apps or packages, manage runtime, source, OTel. So this is how I set up my OTel stuff. Just right here. And then once your exporter is set up, it'll flush out. Yeah, I use spans instead of logging like 90% of the time. It's like, in my opinion, way better.
These?
Yeah.
You sure?
Hold on.
I feel like they look weird.
What?
I feel like they look weird with the skirt.
Yeah, do the docs.
Thanks.
I don't think so, but Jaeger is. Jaeger's in an open source. You can also use like Grafana's open source version. Anders says hi.
Hi, Anders.
All right, this should be good. All right, I'm gonna go look at our test here. All right, 4 failed. Successfully decodes valid wire format names. How do I run a EffectTS test by name if the name is EffectTS bun EffectTS Can I do dot watch dash watch here? There we go. Great. All right, let's go look at this test. Decodes successfully.
Goodbye.
Bye, love you.
Oh, I forgot something.
What was the name of the test? Wire format names. All right. Wire format names. Here we go. This is the test.
The gospel of the camel. I speak the
So-
gospel of the dunes.
We get an
Sand is in my
arbitrary
veins.
valid name uint
Come ride a
iterate.
camel with me.
What up,
Today.
Kyle? Thank you, buddy. I only allow Dylan to say DERS because it's the only part he pronounces. I don't know how to say AN in whatever accent I'm supposed to be doing it in. I just can't do it. Let's see if we does it pass now? Still fails. No, why aren't you running the one test? All right, let's see what the actual error comes from here.
Alright, I love you. Goodbye.
Bye. Why isn't this showing me what the... That is a valid name for sure. Why isn't it showing me what the result is? Console.log result. .eq. It's like a describe data only. I can take these and I can comment them out. And now we can do run test watch. Exit is success. Wait, hold up. Wait, damn it. I wonder if we're getting... These all look like success. If exit dot is failure result, we'll just log it then, and then we should only get one log, right? I mean, we have the counter example. All right, here we go. Parse error. Name exceeded maximum size of 255 bytes. It's possible our test data is incorrect. All right, dogs are getting shut up. Hey, what are we doing? Don't be doing it. Don't be doing it. You know better. Not a guard dog. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. You too. Exactly, Nil. Exactly. Name exceeding maximum size of 255 bytes. I'm curious if arbitrary valid uint8 is incorrect. Calculate total wire size, length bytes, label bytes plus terminator. That seems right. That seems correct to generate a that looks right. I don't understand what is broken here. Is it failing on encoding or decoding? Actually, that's a good thing that I wasn't thinking about. Decodes. So we get a uint8 array. So in here, do we have faulty logic? We create a data view. Name label overruns buffer offset. That's not what we're getting. So here's where we're having an issue. The name size is 0. When we get the label, we increment label dot. Is that the bug? That was the bug. God damn it, chat. Oh, we were adding the full buffer's length every single time rather than the labels. Silly, 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 silly. Skill issued. Now this should be correct. Yep. Next test. I was gonna say, I thought we pretty much had this implementation nailed down. Great. Great. There we go. Good. Validates. Okay. Validate specific wire format cases. String label test. Okay. Let's start with that. All right, so we're failing here. Is this true? So we take a single label, and this is saying what this ends up looking like, chat, here is that we have 4 and then T, E, S, T, and then the terminator byte. And we decode the single label, and we would expect the length to be 1. This is, I would expect this to pass. Do we pass there? All right. Oh, it says we're comparing a uint8 array. Yeah, why can't this take that? How do we turn a, can I go to 2 in array? Is it array.of? Array.of? Why? uint8 array to array TypeScript. Bro, that's what I did. Oh, is it pissed because it might be undefined? Okay, that's what we want. Nice. Okay, so that is working. We didn't have a bug. We just had type errors. Where now, every place I did this earlier, this is so annoying. I can write a macro to do this. Now I can do at Q format. That should pass. Yeah, there we go. All right, now I've got that macro in my register, and we can keep using that. And that looks good, that looks good. Great, that passes. Gamba gods win again. Great. All right, this is looking good. All right, cool. We got all of that working. Do we have a only on this describe block? I think we have name working in general. Yeah, okay, all of name is working. One failed test. Yeah, we still have to go update our question stuff to use our new name parsers. So let's go update that. Got all this working. Where's our question decoder? Question from UN8 array. Great. And where we get the name, we don't have to do this anymore. Because we should, theoretically, be able to do const qname is equal to yield star decode name from uint8 array. And I think we can just pass in the uint8 array. And then we want to map the error like we have previously, where we do map error and we do struct.getIssue. And this should give us a, yeah. And let's just say this is going to be a mutable name. Actually, I don't think we even need that to be a mutable name. We'll just say this is name. Yeah. And then to get the offset, null terminating byte. Where do we increment our offset in here? That was a bug. Offset. How do we determine where the end of the offset is? We don't know where the name ends in memory, which makes it hard. We could go to, no, that won't work. I know what we can do. We can I think a question, we should be able to go read from the back of the packet, right? So we should be able to read 16 bytes going backwards. Smart. That way we don't have to keep track of the offset or the full length of the queue name. That's a good idea. That prevents an extra loop over the data. So we can get rid of this data view and this offset. We don't need, paste that there. We want to get a data view of that, and we want the offset to be byte length -4. Right? Hold on. I want these side by side. Let me look at the memory layout again. So we know this is 2 bytes, this is 2 bytes. And we want to start the view here. Yeah.
Functions describe the
We don't need that. Data view. Here we can do offset is 0. That will get the queue type result. And then the offset is going to be, this will be 0. This would be 1. This is 2. That's a clever optimization. Reading from the back rather than trying to figure out the length of the queue name. Yeah. Okay. So now that we did that, how do we encode? Boundary conditions, resource record, question, successfully decodes. Dot only. All right, that's good. All right, and we're failing. One, 3, 0 terminator. All right, that is a valid packet there. So let's see what if result exit dot is failure result. Let's just log this console.log yason.stringify result dot cause die. We have a defect. We have a defect, chat. Sheesh. That's how you know we really fucked up. I'm guessing I screwed this up right here. Yeah. Let's grab that seed. And we'll come in here and we'll just test against that seed for a second. We put that, is it here? Shuffle, skip. It's not that. Is it here? No, it's not there either. Wait, I thought I should be able to give this thing a seed. Test options. Arbitrary test function, timeout. Or test options. Is that what it wants? Seems weird. How the hell do I give this a seed? How do I give fast check a seed? That's what I thought. That's what I'm doing. Dot. Do I have to do it like this? Seed. Skip timeout only concurrent. Is it somewhere else? Do I have to like dot pipe this thing? No. Whatever, that's annoying. All right, so here, I'm guessing we never end up seeing yeah, so we don't, that is where, all right, getting the data view is where we're failing. So why would that be the case? Byte length -4, is it -5? Things are going well. Like, Max, are you a Max that I know, or are you just saying that your name's Max? Oh, wait, no, I figured out who you are. Yeah, I got you. You're Maxwell. Gotcha. I think I have an off by 1 error. Byte offset. Oh, right. This isn't safe. Fuck. Maybe this isn't gonna work. Question. No, it is. It's safe-ish. Because when we pass to name, so that's where it starts. And we should see here now, like we should stop having the defect. Wait, it's passing now? What? Wait, how? What? I don't think that's true. Because this is starting from 0. And this is just taking part of the name. Yeah, this is invalid. This still isn't right. Because we still need to know where the offset of this thing ends. So we could do... We get the name. Hold on. I think that's right. I think that's what we wanted. Possibly. I'm not sure how that's really different, but whatever. It would be byte length. Byte length -4 plus byte offset. Is that right? I think that might be right too. No. Are we getting defects again? Yeah. Whatever. We'll leave it the way it was. Okay, so let's see if we keep passing these tests. Good. Great, great, great. Great. Very good. Okay, so validates Q-type, Q-class combinations. So invalid combinations is Q-type 0 and 1. I have to remember how these work. So if we go up and look at Q-type, a 2-byte code which specifies the type of the query. The value for this field include all codes valid for a type field, together with some more general codes which can match more than one type of resource record. A 2-octet code that specifies the class of the query. For example, the class field is IN for internet. I think we're going to need to read this a bit more. Value and meaning. Q-type. Q-types are superset of type, hence all types are valid Q-types. In addition, the following Q-types are defined. Okay. Where does it give me the constraints? I keep seeing an effect on the timeline. Hell yeah. The plan is working. So when can Q, I don't understand this. When can, in RFC 1035, for domain, what are the constraints / rules around Q type and Q class? Okay, so it's got to be, do I have this typed? I might already have a schema for this actually. Lowercase, label name, DNS type. Yeah. We probably want to convert this to a, that these are, wait, why do I not have, I have the effect language server working. Why can't I generate a schema from this? Oh, I need the type. Type. Refactor to schema. Nailed it. Not a supported conversion. RIP. Type of DNS type. All right, we're gonna get this. I don't know why I'm getting two. 15, 16. DNS type to oh, well, we have that. That's just type of DNS type dot type. We're gonna have AI do some work for us here. Where I'm just gonna go Claude. Annotate the numeric values with JS doc comments from the DNS. Nope. Fuck. Control end type to value. Annotate the numeric values, which is from the in the schema dot literal for DNS type. Something like this. No, effect is way more than FP and JS. In fact, effect has OO. It has OO principles in it too. It's more like a standard library for TypeScript. Add the DNS type name, e.g. a, txt, etc. They kind of said that, but I didn't. Yeah, you can do that. Great. All right, so now we can, I don't think we need this thing now. I think we can get rid of that. Unless it's used in tests, which it might have been. No, it's not. Great. Oh, actually it was. Let me check my calendar quick and make sure I don't have a meeting at this very moment. I don't. Okay. Let's fix this. We'll say we'll do something like this and then go here and we'll say DNS type name. And we'll do, I can probably do a macro here. Okay. Why can't I? D2W. D2W. That's weird. Right. Oh, I almost had it. There we go. Boom. Change that to type, export that, and we want type of. Yep. And now we want a basically a lookup map. Right? Basically what we had before. DNS type. We can do export const DNS type name to value. I don't even know what to call this. We basically want what we had before. We could use a schema for it. DNS type. I got it. I know what we're going to do here. DNS type name to DNS type. And this is going to be just a lookup map that we had before. Yeah. Let's go down here. We think like 10 minutes ago, 14 minutes ago, we had that. Yeah, let's yoink this. And let's go up here, there. Around that, paste that in there. And we'll take this and we'll go to our tests. And it wants there we go. Yeah, great. Okay, chat, we're gonna call it there. Let me do progress on edge cases, label, and name schemas. Push that. And let's find Rip Never Throw. I loved you. You walked so Effect could run. It's true. It's true. The whole plan of like my React Miami talk was to one, get people, I mean, the core thing is get people to start treating errors as values and using at least never throw. But then take that next step into Effect. And never throw is great because it exposes people to one, errors as values. It exposes people to the result type and being able to do things like map and And then Never Throw is also great because it has the Safe Try API, which uses generators. So like it primes everybody up about perfectly for using Effect. All right, let's find somebody to raid. Got Janet going. Oh, Maxwell's going. We'll raid Maxwell. Maxwell, if you don't know, chat, is on the core effect team. So let's get it. We'll be back tomorrow, chat. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Appreciate all of y'all. Have a great day.